talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, woo, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
And I did what I had to do to win, but somebody wouldn't let us win.
We got one!
Yeah, I'm justifiably in a position that I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
What are you trying to tell me? That I can dodge bullets?
No, Neo. I'm trying to tell you that when you're ready, you won't have to.
Hey guys, welcome back to License to View. This is a weekly pop culture podcast on the internet where two best friends get together to talk about pop culture stuff. I'm talking about movies, anime, video games, comic books, pro wrestling, action figures, statues, all that stuff. I'm Jason, that is Zach. What is going on, man?
You know, man, just another busy week. I'm not gonna lie to you, it really wasn't that busy of a week pop culture wise for me. There was a couple of things that I checked out. So I gave you a little sneak peek of this in our little Discord talk earlier this week, but I finished Yasuke on Netflix about the Black Samurai. I wanted to like this show a lot more than I did.
I watched the first trailer whenever it came out, and
I feel like I watched the first one and like I don't remember anything like that's in here like from that trailer.
I just didn't
tell me
care.
what you saw.
I don't remember. I just remember it being like the typical thing where it was like the black one was gonna save us all or some shit like that, and I just didn't care about a samurai story where like, I mean, like I feel like I've seen this before in like Samurai Champloo or other samurai type shows from the trailers, giving the same kind of vibe. Like to me, like okay, with Flying Lotus, hip hop producer makes the music. Okay, well that's New Jabez. All right, so and then it's gonna be like a hip hop inspired samurai story. Okay, well you're not gonna beat the original. So I just never cared about watching it.
Yeah, I mean, I think more so than Samurai Champloo, I don't know. I mean, this show has a lot of stuff that we like, and a lot of stuff that like makes me want to like it. Like, I mean, it's got the samurai shit. That's always dope.
Yeah. It's
Mappa animation, and they always every show that they've made for like the past like 3 or 4 years has looked fucking amazing, and they always do. And like the show looks great. I enjoyed watching it from a visual aspect. It's got robots, it's got magic, it's got fucking weird psychic powers, it's got all sorts of crazy shit in it. And I'm like, hell yeah, this is all shit that I like. But none of that shit matters if your story's booty. Yeah. And the story in this is like, the writing's not good.
Right.
It's just not. I think character-wise, like Yasuke as a character is like fine. He's not anything like exceptional. Like it's definitely a character that's like been done before. Like he starts off as like a Ronin, and like his story progression is like him from being like a Ronin who's like on the outskirts of this town and like trying to be like a samurai hero again. I'm like, I've seen that story before. Story plays out, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I expected of that story. I think the main thing for me is that it's only 6 episodes, and it felt like they tried to shove 12 episodes worth of story into 6 episodes. I mean, there's like 2 arcs in 6 episodes. Like it's crazy. Like that's
22
way too
minutes.
fast. What? 22
minutes or 30?
They're 30.
Okay.
It's like 28 to 30 averaged around there.
Okay.
It's just like, I don't know. I mean, there was a part like I think it was in the first or second episode where like the main bad guy for that arc like drops a line. I'm like, oh shit, this will like explode the world out. Like there's so much like different ways you can like take this, expand upon it, and like the next episode, like the bad guy dies, and it's like, okay, so that expansion means nothing because there's clearly nothing. There's no way you're gonna branch out from that in this season because you killed the guy that would like make like taking that pathway a possibility. Like he's dead.
Right.
So, and that was like the third episode he dies, and I'm like, okay, so like what? How is this even gonna end? And then they introduced like a bigger bad, which like had kind of been like in the outskirts, like they intro it in Yasuke's like flashbacks and like his background and everything, a little bit, but like outside of that, like there's really no hint.
How close to of this story is to Kenshin?
I've never seen Kenshin. I've read a little bit of Kenshin.
Okay.
But
well,
I mean, it's not because Kenshin's whole thing is he doesn't kill people, right?
When he's a pacifist, yeah. When he's like an assassin, like when he's during the war.
Even when this guy's a Ronin, like he's not afraid to kill people. So
okay, so when he's like an assassin for the emperor or whatever, the shogun, he's like Samurai X, Batosai, like man killer, insane motherfucker. And then he realizes that he doesn't want to do that anymore, and that's when he stops killing people and uses the reverse blade. And then I haven't read the manga. I've only seen the movies. Yeah. But I feel like in the movie he does kill like the bad guys when he has to. But I can't say for sure because I haven't seen them in a while.
I'm not sure. I mean, I've only read like the first couple of volumes of Kenshin, but as far as like I don't know, for like Yasuke's character, like it's not like he's ever like a pacifist. Like he's not afraid to kill people. Like he's the samurai warrior, and like he's lived that throughout. Like he's not afraid to, get his hands dirty and like fight back if he needs to. I mean, it's definitely like the first arc. 3 episodes of the show is like he's definitely like tried to leave like the samurai thing behind. Like he has his armor all hidden away, and like his sword is like hidden in a tall jar thing or whatever. Right. He's like tried to hide that, pass him away. The whole thing centers around like his whole past centers around like Nobunaga and like his like trying to unify Japan and all that stuff, and like him as a character, like Nobunaga trying to kind of like took him under his wing. He became like a son. Nobunaga became like his father basically, and so it ends up like very beginning of the show is like seeing the main bad guy for this season basically wipe out Nobunaga's kingdom, and I don't know, he like gets depressed and gets drunk and basically asks Yasuke to kill him, and so he does. He does the I don't know, he beheads him and all that shit, and then it like skips to the future where he's like a Ronin and like a drunkard who like just fishes and like carries people.
Do they show Masamune in this?
No, they don't. I did not see that name pop up. There was what was it? I can't remember all the names. But not Masamune. There was like a Morisuke. I think it was Morisuke who was like he did like the magic psychic superpower type shit. He like it was like the intro to the series. He like grabs an arrow and like fucking goes Super Saiyan or some shit and like throws it and like makes a million arrows appear out of energy or some shit like that.
Right.
Like the visuals are dope and like I want to like it. It's just like the story is such ass.
Well, that's the thing. That's what I complain about every week. It's like the stuff that I'm reading or watching, it could look great and the art could be awesome, but if your story sucks, I mean, yeah, I'm not the kind of guy who consumes stuff and then just is okay with a mediocre story. Like I can let it go if I watch an action movie, like a Cynthia Rothrock movie. I'm not expecting fucking what was I gonna say? My mind went to what's it called? Like Schindler's List. I'm not expecting that. You know what I mean?
You're not expecting an Oscar-worthy screenplay, but you go to that movie because you're expecting fucking like top-notch action. Like exactly. There's a different thing you're expecting.
I mean, I'm expecting the narrative to be done in the sequencing of the martial arts. Yeah. Which is what I expected from Mortal Kombat, but it didn't give me that. Yeah. No,
I think as far as that aspect, like it's a fun action series, I just don't. I think, especially like the way they were trying to sell it out, is that it was supposed to be like this grand epic about this like black samurai, and I'm like, it's not really that. Like, it's a fine story, but like Samurai Champloo has like a way better story than this, and that is like not even concerned with the main plot for like 80% of the show. So
yeah, I probably won't watch it. I mean, I wasn't impressed with the trailer that I saw, and I don't think I care enough to watch it. I mean,
I will say the soundtrack is fucking dope. I mean, it's like the best part of the whole series, but
yeah. Well, that's the part that was probably the easiest to do, honestly.
yeah. I mean, it's Flying Lotus. I mean, I've been liking his stuff for the past couple of years, and like, yeah, I mean, it's not hard to do that. I don't know. I know that like, they had like, what's his name, Lee Keith Stanfield or whatever, do the voice acting for Yasuke.
Mm-hmm.
But I watch it with Japanese audio anyway, so I don't really give a fuck about that. But
I mean, that guy is cool and all, but
I know he produced it too, so like clearly he likes it, and I don't know. I think the problem might be like, I don't know if it's necessarily the screenplay writer, because the director who did this, I haven't watched his other series, but I know it's on Netflix too, because it's the Cannon Busters one, and that was the show that had a similar aesthetic to me, where that one's like, it's like sci-fi with Western type of shit. And I'm like, hell yeah, that's like the kind of shit that I like. But then I'd seen reviews of it, and everybody's like, it's kind of like ass. And I'm like, well, don't take like an aesthetic that I like and then make like some mediocre dookie type show with it. Like, if you're going to take the shit that like is going to tickle my funny bone, make something good out of it. So, I don't know. I didn't hate Yasuke, but I didn't love it either. It's like, I don't know. It's like a very average show for me.
Right. Well,
it's not terrible.
I guess that's all you can expect.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been
better.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could have been better.
I mean, also, it's again, I'm not gonna watch it, but when it's something like that, like an anime about a samurai, whether or not it's a true, either like if you're gonna you go the fantastical route with it, which is what they did, right?
Yeah.
Because if it's based on a real guy, right? But then they're gonna go the fantastical route.
I think
it
is, but yeah, they definitely took like the fantastical route with it.
So I know it's a real guy, but if you're gonna go a fantastical route, okay, fine. So now you have to play into narrative stuff, because it's anime. We know you can do the whole point of anime is that you can have the energy. You can have the action. You can have that stuff. That's anime. It's built in. I expect that in a samurai anime. So that's mandatory.
Yeah.
So if you can't create character, like you can't make me like Mugen, then why would I want to watch a show for 26 episodes?
Yeah, I think that's the problem. I think this one is shorter of it, but I think it exemplifies a similar problem that I had with God High School, because it's Mappa doing the same thing, which is that like the shows look great and the action choreography is great, but it's like, first of all, it's Mappa, so like I know you can do that, and like I expect that anyway out of them. And so it's with this show, it's like just the original story that they put together is like not good. And then for the similar thing with God Up High School, it's like the writing for that is ass, because they try to adapt like 100 chapters worth of story into like 12 episodes. I'm like, that's not gonna fucking work.
Yeah, no, that won't work at all.
So I mean, that was like, I don't know. So it's like, yeah, I mean, I see very similar problems in parallels with like both of those shows with like what I've been watching, but yeah. So that's Yasuke.
Well, here, let me hijack this for a second.
Yeah.
Because I'm on a timetable with this.
Yeah.
So I mentioned months ago that I heard rumors along the grapevine that Pepsi Blue is coming back.
Yeah.
Right. And then I saw a week ago that Pepsi didn't post on social media anywhere, but they were, I guess the press release came out to news sites, so like Yahoo and like whatever was posting this like, hey, May 4th or whatever, expect this to be out. So on Reddit, I'm in part of the soda subreddit, and people are like, yo, it's coming. Here's the picture for it, and there's the label. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I know when to expect it, so I'm going to be on the lookout for Pepsi Blue. And today I went to Colombia with my girlfriend.
Damn, you had to go all the way to Colombia?
We were up in Colombia for other stuff.
Oh, gotcha.
But along the way, I was like, cool. I'm gonna look for these. I didn't find them until I got back into town. But I had to use a Walmart app, and I searched Pepsi Blue, and they said we have it in stock. So I went to the neighborhood Walmart, and I found a single row of them in one of like the coolers or whatever. So I got 3 of them. Haven't had it yet. I've been saving it for this moment.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned on the podcast is that I loved this as a kid. This was one of my favorite drinks as a child. I had it the moment it came out, and I drank it until the moment they discontinued it because of the blue dye.
Yeah.
I loved Pepsi Blue, right? I would get this drink, the soda beverage, and then I would get this, and this is how unhealthy I was as a child, as an adult male still. I would get this, plus I would get a bag of trolley eggs, the old school trolley eggs bag.
I don't think I've ever seen trolley eggs.
They still have them. They're great, but I used to get those, and then that would be like that, and maybe a bag of chips, something whatever, and that was like the Friday night video store snack run. I'd go home.
Get you a bag of Doritos, good to go.
Something like that, and I'd go home. We'd go home and I would watch, insert shit action flick, missing in action or some bullshit, rapid fire or something like that.
Lionheart.
Exactly. I mean, I can't even tell you how many times that exact combination was made for me to watch Street Fighter. So many fucking times. So, my big fear upon finding Pepsi Blue, besides the fact that they changed the logo, because the logo...
So it's not going to taste as good.
Well, so the logo's different because they can't do the same logo because it's not 2000 and whatever now. So it would make no sense and people would not understand it. And they kind of hint at it in the current logo, but not exactly. So my big fear was that I don't remember what it tastes like, right? I can't tell you with words what it tastes like, but I can tell you how it felt. That's all I can say. I can tell you how it feels, but I can't tell you what it tastes like because it's been so long. 2004.
What did it feel like?
When I think of Pepsi Blue, it is pure. It's childhood for me. It's nostalgia. It's the same way that people talk about Crystal Pepsi. It's the same way that my people who were in the 80s talk about that stuff. Or New Coke, shit like that. I guarantee if I asked, my dad or your mom, describe to me New Coke, they could probably give you the broad strokes of it. It was sweeter. Yeah. But they couldn't give you the minute details. You know what I mean? Or I liked it or didn't like it. Right? So, but Pepsi Blue, I knew that it was berry. And I knew that I liked it. But I'm also 28 years old now. So who knows? And they could have changed the formula. Would have no idea. So I found it. Here it is. Pepsi Blue.
Damn, son.
Bada boom, bada bing.
Honestly, that's looking pretty clean, dude.
It looks clean. I swear it was darker. The dye was darker back in the day. It probably was. My girlfriend mentioned that too when she saw it.
Oh no, that's pretty dark, man.
Yeah, I mean it is. So I'm gonna crack this bitch open. It's been sitting in the refrigerator for the last couple hours.
All right.
Get a nice. Hopefully it's carbonated.
I mean, we'll hear it right away.
Yeah, if not, I have to go back to the refrigerator, open all 3 of them.
Oh, that's plenty carbonated, baby.
Ooh, okay, here we go. Smell test first.
Smell test.
Okay, here we go. Now, if I start crying, we know that memories are flooding back. I have tears forming right now.
We know the nostalgia's already there.
Boy.
Bring it back?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. I haven't smelled that smell. I haven't smelled that smell in so long. Okay, hold on. That smells like Pepsi Blue, bro.
All right.
Okay, here we go.
Didn't mess with your formula yet. Taste-wise, or smell-wise at least.
Okay, hold on. Let me get one more taste. One more swig out of this.
Okay. Make sure you aerate it, too. Give it that. There you go.
It tastes fine.
But just fine?
But I have no idea if this tasted like the way it tasted when I was a kid.
Does it taste like childhood memories?
It doesn't. It smells like it, though. The smell is spot on. But the
Interesting.
taste, I can't tell you the taste. I can't tell you. But the smell is absolutely nostalgia.
Interesting.
That smell is, it's to me the smell. Now that I can smell the smell, and my brain
Right.
is like activating hardcore.
That smelly smell that smells smelly.
I feel like it's less smell than it was than it used to be, right?
Okay.
But the taste, I have absolutely no idea if it's the same or not.
You think even though you instantly smelled it, that it's less smell than it used to be?
Yeah, because right now, here's what I taste. I
Tell me
taste
about
Pepsi with some blueberry in it, or some berry in it, right?
Okay.
That's why I taste the Pepsi in it. But I feel like when I was a kid, Pepsi Blue tasted like fucking like a Mountain Dew, or like a cotton candy, something super sweet.
Interesting.
You know, I don't know, man.
Is it dissatisfying?
I feel kind of let down.
Interesting.
I feel kind of let down. I was so hyped for it. And you get...
Is this a possibility where you raise your hype levels too much?
Oh, it's nostalgia, bro.
Okay.
It's nostalgia, man. You know, in my mind, this was a key ingredient to my childhood.
Would you say that you would have preferred to have never smelled it again? Or tasted it again?
Yeah, I think so.
Now that you have tasted it?
I think so. I think that my life was better 20 minutes
Better
ago.
without it in your life.
Yeah, 20 minutes ago.
Interesting. Okay.
So I wanted to, I don't know, bro. Hold on. Last time.
Hey, we can down the whole bottle tonight. Fourth time's a charm.
I don't know, bro.
Interesting.
I don't know. I'll sip on it during the show.
Okay.
At the end of the show,
You let me know if your opinion changes.
Oh yeah, I'll give you a second update at the end of the show. Pepsi Blue review in progress. Here we go. I'll give you at the end of the show, I will give a out of 5 Pepsis.
Okay.
How I feel. Right now it's in progress, so.
Gotcha.
Zach, what was the other thing that you were watching, man?
The other thing that I watched, and I didn't finish it, but I got 2 episodes in, which was the new Son of Sam doc.
Yeah.
Son of Sam: Descent into Darkness, I believe is what it's called. I don't even know if I want to finish this.
I watched
It's
the
not
first
what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I watched the first episode and I thought it was well made. And I knew from the trailer that it wasn't going to be what I wanted it to be, which is about
I didn't
him.
watch the trailer at all, so I thought it was going to be a Son of Sam doc.
No,
and then
it's
you watch
not.
the first episode and it's like,
Yeah.
it's definitely not that. Like it's based around Son of Sam, but it's really a doc about this guy who, after watching 2 episodes, I think is an insane person. But particularly when he took his then girlfriend, future wife, to the place where the first 2 victims of Son of Sam were shot, and then proceeded to make out with her over the place where their dead bodies were. And was like, hell yeah, this is super romantic. And I'm like, you're a fucking crazy person.
You know, I saw one of our friends was posting on social media about this.
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't finished it, so I can't really comment on the thing as a whole.
Mm-hmm.
But just from the first episode, because the first episode they wrap up Son of Sam.
Yeah, the first episode is
You know.
basically Son of Sam gets captured, and then it begins his deep dive into
the conspiracy stuff.
Into the conspiracy, because the whole second episode is basically him figuring out all the stuff with like John Carr and Son of Sam and whatnot. It ends up with him getting the green light from his editors or whatever to like just go fucking hog wild with whatever he's trying to research, because like one of the DAs basically like opened his investigation because of an article that he wrote. So
yeah, I mean, I feel like after the first episode, while it was well made,
just
go watch Night Ripper or Night Stalker. Watch
yeah,
Night
that
Stalker.
one was like that was what I thought that this was gonna be. Like I thought it was gonna be like an in-depth look of like how they caught Son of Sam. But like in this documentary, the catching of Son of Sam is like it's inconsequential to the story in of itself, which makes sense viewed through the lens of this reporter because he thinks David Berkowitz is innocent, or at least he didn't act on his own.
Partially.
So
yeah.
like the fact that David Berkowitz is captured is like not really important to him because he thinks that somebody else is behind it. So through that lens,
I mean,
it's
shit,
fine,
dude.
but like I know that David Berkowitz did it, and I believe that he did it on his own. So like this whole fact that we're like going down this rabbit hole where he's like trying to find shit that's like, I don't know, because in the second episode he goes down the whole rabbit hole he goes down to of why he thinks there's a conspiracy theory is because he figures out that there was a guy named John Carr who had the middle name of Wheat, and one of the nicknames that David Berkowitz put is John Wheaties.
Yeah.
He's like, that's it. That's a conspiracy. And I'm like, yeah, but if you look at that letter, he has like 50 other nicknames. So you could find any one of those and you could probably match it to somebody else because there's so many.
Now look.
The fact that you're zeroing in on this one thing.
Oh, look at this. Okay. I agree with you. I also believe in Bigfoot. So
yeah, look, I believe in aliens, and I know the reptilian overlords are coming to get us. But
the thing is,
David Berkowitz killed those people.
Yeah, well, the thing with this, like, he not. My knowledge of Son of Sam he is not on my top tier list of heavy hitters, right? But in terms of like, did he not come out and say like straight up like, yeah, I was just lying, trying to get insanity plea? Didn't he say that?
It ends up being a thing later on, where he basically lied about the whole Son of Sam thing. Well, because it wasn't even the dog thing, like him talking to the dog or anything. That wasn't even brought up until he was like arrested and tried to go up for insanity plea. Because then he tried to go like, oh yeah, I was possessed, and that's what made me go crazy because he was trying to get off.
Yeah.
And then when he didn't get off, later he confessed. He's like, yeah, like none of that shit was real. I was just trying to not go to jail. And now he's a born again Christian. So there's that.
Right. You know, it's funny to flip it on in terms of true crime. I was watching this docu-series. It came out last year, called the PEPSI Murder, and it's about this rich guy. It's in New York City. It's about how like this girl was found in the park, like Central Park or something like that, up against a tree, and she's like beat the fuck up and whatever. And the cops find out that this really like rich preppy kid did it. And then the whole time, the lawyers and all that kind of stuff are spinning the story, saying that, oh well, it was rough sex. You know, she wanted to be like beat up or whatever, and then he goes to jail on something way less than what he should have got, and only did like 15 years and got out or whatever. Yeah. So the docuseries will try to explain like here's the facts of this or whatever. Here's the actual point of view of this female. She wasn't like this or whatever, right? And it's such a better, well-made, like, tale. As much as I like conspiracy stuff, as much as I would rather have 5 episodes about Son of Sam. Yeah. Right. Like it's the same thing with the one on HBO about what's it called? What's that one guy called? The rapist in California.
Oh, the Jinx.
No, not him. No. He's in New York too, I thought.
He is, I think.
L.A. Or San.
Pat
Oswald's wife.
The Pat Oswald's wife.
Yeah.
Golden State Killer.
Yeah, whatever. The guy who raped a ton of people, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I love that docuseries, and that thing is really well made. But I didn't give a shit about when it went to her. Yeah. Nothing against her. I don't know. I didn't read her blog.
I'm with you. Yeah, I just find the killer more interesting than like.
I want to see that and stuff. And I know she's a part of it, absolutely, and for sure. I like the parts where because they would go into like her parts into the investigation, and I'm cool with that, right?
Yeah.
But then it would go back to her like personal life where she was like sexually assaulted. I don't care about any of that. And
Yeah.
I'm sure it's very important to the story of whatever, but like to me, I just want to see the criminal aspect of the investigation, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I really like the Night Stalker one because it's like
Yeah.
purely just this, right? Even the John Wayne Gacy one I talked about last week, it's also very much like that, even though they're weaving bullshit tales from him. So, with this, if the rest of the episodes are going to be about this reporter, tabloid guy or whatever, columnist,
Yeah.
I don't really care.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really care. I mean, the conspiracy theory is like interesting, I guess, but like, I don't know. From like last podcast and like the little I've looked up, I'm like, it doesn't hold any water though. Like, I know David Berkowitz did it. Like, it's evident that he did it. Like, it's
And even
evident
if
that, like nobody else helped him.
Yeah, even if someone else helped him, there weren't more murders.
And that's the other thing too, is that like they make this whole thing and they're like the conspiracy theory behind it or whatever. And I was like, yeah, but like if David Berkowitz didn't do it, then more people would have died.
Yeah.
But nobody else died like that. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Obviously, it's not impossible, but the point is like,
Yeah.
I mean,
it's possible to like switch their MO or whatever.
But it's like not like if you watch the Netflix one, what was it called? The one where the guy had a bomb on his neck. Evil Mind or Mastermind.
I never watched that one. Is that the Evil Genius one?
Evil Genius. You should watch it. It's fucking awesome, right?
Is that the one where it's like the bank robbery or whatever?
Yeah. So the guy goes into a bank, robs the bank. He's a bomb on his neck, right? Like attached to his neck, and then he doesn't know if it's real, right? He thinks it's fake. And then the cops find him. They pull him over. They have him at gunpoint. He's like,
"Oh, he was forced to do this with the bomb."
That's the problem. We don't fucking know. At the whole end of the thing, the question becomes: did he not? Did they? Who would willingly put a bomb on their neck? Right? Or was it the people he worked with, who they talk about, who they interview or have whatever, who are in jail for other things? I believe. Did they? Trick him into putting this on his neck? Like, why would he? Why would you? Or did he think that it was fake? It's like, oh yeah, it's a fake thing, whatever. But in the middle of the fucking thing, it goes off and he dies in the middle of the front of the cops. Like it blows off his fucking head or something like that. So at the end of the thing, you get no answer, and you're stuck thinking like, this is actually a mystery. Like the people that know the answer are not fucking saying anything. Now they're saying one thing, but I don't believe them because they're fucking criminals. Yeah. Right. So like. That to me is like it's such a small, like it's wasn't a fucking massive conspiracy, you know what I mean? Yeah. Or even I watched one a couple years back. That was a pretty big mystery that got kind of like that got answered like twice, but it was an HBO documentary called "Something's Wrong with Aunt Diane," and if you remember, I didn't remember this at all when we were in high school. But I think up in New England, there was a massive car accident where a van drove into oncoming traffic and it killed 8 people. And it was this lady who was an aunt, and her van had her 3 nieces and like her daughter in it, and then she hit a truck that had like 3 people in there, or whatever many people it was to make 8. Yeah. Right. And then her family came out and was like, no. She was a great mom, whatever. And then the toxicology report came back. It was like, yeah, she was overdosed on like weed and like alcohol. Like, she was like laced with it. Jesus. And then the family was like, no, she never did that stuff. And it comes back like, no, this is for sure. Well, she didn't have a problem with that stuff. She didn't have a problem with that stuff. And then the family goes and hires a third-party investigator, and the investigator's like, no, yeah, this report's right. We did it. We checked it too. We have DNA samples. We tried it. She was high as fuck. You know what I mean? So it's like, even at the end of that, you're like, oh my god, this is what happened to this lady? Why did she just go fucking crazy? Then you're like, oh, okay, she just sucked. Yeah. She just sucked. You know.
Her family just didn't want to believe that she was not a great person.
Or she was just,
high as fuck.
Or her family just was trying to save face or something. I don't know what it was. Yeah. I don't know. It was well made. There's so fucking many that
There's so many true crime
I
documentaries.
try to watch, but half of them are bad.
Yeah. I mean, this is one of those ones where it's like, it's well made and it's visually interesting. It's just that the angle that they're taking is like not one that really grabs me as much as I thought it would.
Yeah, I agree.
You would think for us, like conspiracy theories and all that shit, like we're last podcast boys, like we fucking love that kind of shit. But I don't know, like with this one, I don't know, it just doesn't grab me like I thought it would.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll watch one more.
I'll probably try to give it one more because at the end of episode 2, they definitely say that like basically the next episode that I'm gonna watch is gonna be diving deep into like the Satanism stuff and like the this is like the Satanic Panic era is this next era that it's gonna start hitting into. So I'll try that one, see if that one's any good.
You should really watch the Heaven's Gate HBO one.
I do want to watch that one too.
It's really good.
Well, now I want to watch the Evil Geniuses one.
That
I
one's
put
really
off
good, too.
watching it. I'd seen it a couple times, so I just never sat down to watch it. Now I want to watch that shit. I thought it was just like a bank robbery. I didn't realize that like the guy fucking had like a bomb in it.
No, yeah, it's fucking intense. That one's really great. Heaven's Gate's really great. Plus, Heaven's Gate's so cool because it's not like it's a crime.
Yeah.
There's no
Just a cult.
It's just a cult. There's no crime.
Yeah.
The Vow.
It's not like a Jim Jones or anything like that.
Right, and The Vow is really good. I haven't finished it yet. I have like 3 episodes left. It's fucking 8 episodes or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
The Vow is really good though. I think you like it.
Interesting.
It's about Nixon. The sex
Oh
cult.
yeah.
It's insane.
I was covering that shit when it was
Yeah,
all that
it's
shit was popping
in.
off. Yeah, that shit's crazy.
It is. The docuseries is so great because they have so
Where's
much
it on?
footage. HBO.
Interesting. Okay.
They have so much footage from like, because one of the guys in the documentary that was like, yeah, I was the lead videographer for like 10, 15 years.
Jesus.
So they have so much fucking video that just put it it's like if that wasn't the case, you would never have any of this video. This video would be gone.
Right.
You know what I mean? So like, I was on TikTok because I'm young and hip, and someone posted on TikTok like a nostalgia channel or whatever on TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
They posted the theme song to the theme video to Smallville, and then everyone in the comments is like, "How about that Chloe? Huh? what about Chloe though? Where is she at? How's Chloe doing?" And you know, a lot of people were like, "What happened to Chloe?" It's like, are you fucking kidding me, dude?
She's in fucking jail, dude.
She's in jail, bro. And then you see in the docuseries, like, they have video footage of other Smallville characters, like, doing, like, in it. Like, not like the Kristen Kirk's in it.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, Kristen Kirk's in it, because it was this pyramid scheme, obviously, too.
Yeah.
So it was a pyramid scheme that was also a sex cult.
Mm-hmm.
Or a small sex cult at the very top. But, like, I guess she recruited her other actors or whatever, Allison Mack, and then there's an opening bit or you see a scene where Kristen Kirk's in it, like talking in this little meeting or whatever. And you're like, dude, insane.
Fucking crazy.
It's like, did you ever watch what's his name, Louis Theroux, his Scientology documentary?
No, I didn't.
It's awesome. It's really good.
I know that they've got that one lady out there. I can't remember what she was. She was
Clear,
or
whatever.
She was on some sitcom or whatever, but she was in Scientology.
Queens, right?
I think so. Yeah. I think it's on Netflix. I saw it like pop up at one point. But
that's not Going Clear, isn't it?
I think that's Going Clear. Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
A lot of people in Scientology that get out of it. It's not that easy. It's not that hard to get out of Scientology. It feels like.
I feel like it is. I feel like well,
I don't know. There's just so many documentaries about it of like people who have left and like
they get sued like crazy.
That's true.
They get sued like crazy.
David Miscavige, man, he got all that fucking Scientology money, all that Tom Cruise bucks.
I can't believe that like you can go to like Barnes and Noble and buy like fucking Battlefield Earth, and it's like this dude.
L. Ron Hubbard, baby.
This dude made a religion.
Fucking Henry Zebrowski body on that fucking shit.
Zach, what else have you checked
USS, whatever ship they were on at the end.
I don't remember that.
Oh, I've listened to that series that they did on him like so many times.
I've listened to it twice.
That shit always makes me laugh when they're on the fucking ship. I can't even remember what it's called, but that is some of the funniest shit.
You got anything else you checked out?
No, those are the two things really. I started reading Dresden again because I have. The weather's nice here, and I started going out to my pool again. But I left off with book 5. I can't remember which. I think that's Blood Rights.
Okay.
I think. I mean, yeah, I'm still Dresden. I'm still digging it. I just need to, the problem is that I just need to hunker down and just get into it. Because I know once I get into it, I won't want to put it down. So,
bro,
he's going into his investigation to find the cloth of some shit that Jesus wore or something. I don't remember.
This one has the Luciferians in it. No.
I don't know. It hasn't got to that part yet. This is the part where the very first bit is he's on a daytime talk show and the vampire dude challenges him to a duel. Now it's like, fuck yeah, that's how you start.
Okay. You're so
And then Susan came back and he almost fucking died to the venom and they had hot steamy makeup session. I was like, hell yeah.
You are so close to it being undroppable. You're so, because books 3, 4, 5 are good, and they set it up to what can be great. Yeah. And then once you hit like 6, 7, 8, you're like, fuck him, dude. Bro, I just need you to read this. Every Dresden fan has, if they hear this, they'll know exactly what I'm saying. Is I just want you to read Until Changes.
Until Changes.
And if you don't, if Changes happens and you don't care, then fuck off. Then just don't read it. Don't read it anymore. You can just give up, because at that point, whatever. Right?
I mean, look, I'm already invested in it. I think it got to that point where I read like the first 4 books in the span of like 4 weeks, and I think I'd like burn myself out a little bit with like forcing myself to read it. But now that I'm like just bringing it back in, like I'm enjoying the ride, and I never like hated it or anything like that. Like, I mean, it's fucking Harry Dresden. It's that shit that we fuck him up. That fucking urban fantasy, but.
Let me see real quick, because I can't. It's been so long now since I read those early books. I don't remember.
I think it's Blood Rights. I can't remember.
Let me pull up the publishing history.
No, Blood Rights is the 6th one.
You're on Death Masks.
Death Mask, that's what it is.
Yeah, Blood Rights.
Blood Rights is the next one, which I also have. I just haven't touched because I haven't finished Death Masks.
Yeah, Blood Rights is. Let me double check and make sure that this is the one I'm talking about.
I know that because I remember, because I started over from the beginning because it's been so long since I read it. But I remember a part, I haven't got to it in my reread yet, but there's like demons that possess people. And it's also like, I just remember the demons possessing people. And there's 2 hot international spies that definitely shoot Dresden at one point on a yacht. So
Right.
Or not spies, they're thieves.
Okay, yes.
International thieves.
Let me pull up. Yes, you're in Death Mask. How far are you in the book?
Right now I'm only like 5 chapters in.
Okay, so yes, this book is Death Mask is one of the big overall like demon books.
Okay.
So you'll meet.
I know Michael shows back up again.
Yeah, generally speaking.
I remember that from where I left off last time too. That Michael showed back up.
Yeah. The next book though.
There was some other guy too. There was like it was like the person who trained Michael or something like that. Yeah. You find out there's more than one holy sword shit, and there's like a couple of them that show up to fight these demons, but.
Yeah, and then you're coming up soon on a really good. I can't remember which book it is, so I'm not going to spoil it for you. But you're coming up on a nice little spoiler, nice little character reveal.
Interesting. Okay.
Like a story element that adds more to Dresden as a character.
Shit with Susan is already pretty good. God damn it, I love it when Susan's ever on the page. She's such a good character.
I hate her.
You don't like her?
I hate her. You'll hate her too.
Oh no! Don't tell me that. I like her so much right now.
You'll hate her. You'll hate her too. No,
I mean, Murph's
God,
the best.
I
Obviously.
wish I
Is it
fucking
Murph?
wish
What's the policeman's?
Murphy.
It is Murph.
I wish you were where I was at so I could. I almost just spoiled it so hard. The last book, I almost just spoiled it so hard for you.
The book that just came out like a couple months ago.
I mean, it's been like fucking September.
This is a couple months.
You know, I almost just fucking spoiled that hard. That would ruin it because you would have so much to. That would be like, why would I even read this then? So I got a couple things here, not too much either.
Okay.
Pepsi Blue, obviously.
Yeah. There you go.
Just do a quick check.
Take another sip, man.
Do a quick check in.
Let me ask you this: is it getting worse the more you sip it?
Yes.
Okay, interesting.
Not because it's bad, but because
it's just
I feel
not
like
what you thought it would be.
not that is part of it, but I think mostly is that it's still sweet, and you can only drink so much sweet. But when you're a child, all you want is sweet. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep sipping on it though. I can't slam this like regular Pepsi.
Yeah.
So, first thing I watched this week was the premiere episode last week. I mentioned on the podcast, I think, actually.
I think so.
The premiere episode of the season 3 of Dark Side of the Ring. Mm-hmm. They put it on YouTube. Episode 2 should be out now. Two-part episode about Brian Pillman, Flying Brian, pro wrestling icon, legend, who died, had a crazy ass life, played a really crazy character with Stone Cold Steve Austin. This in general was like had a really crazy kayfabe thing where like you didn't know if he was breaking kayfabe, if he was in kayfabe, you don't know what the fuck was going on. Wrestlers didn't know, no one knew if he was being crazy for the sake of being crazy or if it's just that was who he was. If he was going crazy, no one had any idea, right? So much so, this is a famous story that he was on WCW and he wanted to go to WWF, but he was still under contract. So he told Eric Bischoff to release him, like sign the release. It's for the bit, it's for the story of the character, the moment. So sign it and then re-sign me after, whatever. Well, he signed the release and he just left. You know, now the story goes that he did that. He tricked Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff's in the docu-series being like, he didn't trick me. We worked on it together. I don't know who I believe. Because I don't know why you would sign a talent that's good to just leave to your competitor in the middle of the Monday Night Wars. I don't know. But I watched episode 1. I will watch episode 2 tonight if it's up. So that. Also wrestling related. On Sunday, the A&E WWE biography series is still going on. 2 weeks ago was Roddy. I've never been a big fan of Roddy, so I watched the first half, then I stopped watching. But last week was Macho, and it was it was really good. I haven't really seen. I'm sure they're out there, but I just haven't seen them. It was really well made of Macho Man biography.
Yeah, I haven't seen too many biographies or documentaries on Macho Man.
The closest one I've seen, which is a different perspective, is Dark Side of the Ring. They have a Macho Man episode in the first season about him and Elizabeth, and this talks about it too. It's impossible to talk about Macho Man without talking about Miss Elizabeth and talking about the weird dynamic that they had. So Dark Side of the Ring talked about it, and this also talks about it as well. This is well made. I don't know what's coming out tomorrow. It might be Ultimate Warrior. No, I think it's Booker T. Maybe. I think it's
Booker T would be interesting.
I think it's Booker T. is who's tomorrow. I can pull it up real quick and see, because if it's someone I don't care for, I'm not gonna wait. I'll watch it later. Here's the whole list right now. I doesn't say the order of them, but Stone Cold, Macho, Roddy, Booker, Shawn, Brett, Mick, and Ultimate Warrior. So I don't know who's next.
I don't know if I would enjoy a Mick one or not.
I personally don't care.
I feel like I would enjoy all of those. Mick is the only one that I'm like iffy about.
Yeah, they mention him a lot in the WWE.
Like I know how big of a wrestling guy he is, and like how integral he is to like the sport in and of itself, like him as a wrestler and like what he was able to bring to, the profession. Yeah. But I don't know.
They mention him and they do a good justice to him in the WWE Network docuseries Monday Night Wars, where they do an episode about ECW and they explain him, and to me that's all I needed. I don't need any more about Cactus Jack. I don't need any more about any of that stuff.
Mankind or anything.
Yeah, and I've also never been a fan of him because he's not a technical wrestler. He's a hardcore guy. So he's more of a stuntman to me. Yeah, and that's probably fucking sacrilege. But I don't care about deathmatch wrestling. I don't care about hardcore wrestling. I like some hardcore bumps every now and then. But in terms of like putting on a good wrestling match, I don't care about him or his style. Brett is great, obviously. Booker is great. Sean's great. Ultimate Warrior, okay. But to me, Mick Foley is the one that's kind of weird of the 8 listed here.
Yeah.
I would rather if it had The Rock.
Yeah, I feel like The Rock was a missed opportunity.
The Rock. I mean, if you want to go other names that are big, that could fit here, who aren't as big, I don't know what. I mean, Triple H is hard because he still works there, but like he's obviously in a high important role. But
I would say, Kurt Angle still works there too, but
and I know that WWE is doing a documentary about Shawn and Kevin Nash as a team together. I don't know when it's coming out, but I know they're doing it, so I'll watch that.
Do the Scott Hall Razor Ramon doc. How about that?
Yeah, but the thing about him is that as much as I love him, and people love him,
yeah.
He wasn't a world champion. He wasn't a heavyweight champion ever.
Right.
He never won the belt. He's only an IC, and he's okay with that from what I've heard. He's a really good wrestling mind. I would love it. I think it's important. I think it should be done. I don't know why it hasn't been done or why he hasn't been on fucking Stone Cold's show, Broken Skull. Well, he's been on the podcast, but he should be on the fucking network show. Broken Skull Sessions, but to me, like Mick Foley, I'm also he's on everything all the time. He's on so much TV, I don't care.
I know he's like I don't know why, but I think everybody is just in love with the fact that he took that bump from the Undertaker off the top of the steel cage. I'm convinced that that's why everybody likes Mick Foley, because other than that, I really don't know what other moments he has for him. Like, I know history-wise, like, what he's done, but as far as, like, as a wrestler, the only moment that I know him for is taking the bump off the top of steel cage from The Undertaker. That's all I know.
Hardcore match with Triple H, a lot of brass tacks bumps. I mean,
yeah.
He did a good match with Randy Orton. I mean, there are matches there that I enjoy, but to me, a lot of his matches are the same. Yeah. Like, okay, tacks, big fall. How could Mick Foley get beat up this time?
How can he literally almost die but not die?
And that's fine. I would also rather watch guys in Japan take massive neck bumps and have the same question. Okay, Are you gonna die this time? Okay, you're gonna die. Okay, sweet. All right.
Are you gonna be paralyzed from the neck down?
Yeah.
You're not? Good. All right. Sweet.
So, there's that. The last thing I did watch was a Netflix movie called The Mitchells versus the Machines.
I saw this. So I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
It's made by by Sony Animation, so the people who made Spider-Verse, and it looks like it. You can tell it's very stylized, and it's. Is it
cell shaded like Spider-Verse?
Quasi.
Okay.
It's not as intense.
Interesting.
It is awesome. It is a really great movie.
Interesting.
It is a really great movie. About a family who is, they're all weird. It's like that's kind of the point. Like they say that in the movie. Like, well, we're all weird, whatever. Like the dad is like Danny McBride is the dad, he's like an outdoors guy. Like he likes to build with like logs and like wood and whatever. He's an outdoorsman.
Fuck
And
yeah.
then their daughter, who's going to college, is a film nut, right? So she makes little movies and stuff like that. And she's going to film school, but her dad and her have never connected because they don't understand each other's passions, right? So they're
Right.
gonna,
Outdoorsmen will never understand the film buff.
yeah.
I guess.
So they're gonna go and take her to college on a road trip because they live across country. She's going to California for college, and they're gonna try and
They're gonna corrupt her. Ugh.
they're gonna try to reconnect the whole family, right?
Well,
Before
California will
she
fuck all
goes
that
to-
shit up. So.
Yeah, before she goes to college, and they never talk again or whatever.
Yeah.
But in the middle of their trip, the robot apocalypse happens, and robots become sentient and start kidnapping humans. So now you have this family who's disjointed, has to try to survive, and they become the last surviving family.
Okay.
And they have to save humanity against the robots, and it's a super well, the animation's insanely great.
Mm-hmm.
The character design is insanely great. The music's really good. The voice acting is great, and the writing is super heartfelt. So, I think it's something that it has a 98 on Rotten Tomatoes, right? Which take it or leave it, but it's really fucking good.
Okay.
And, I wouldn't be like, oh well, they made in Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse is good, so this one's good too. I would actually judge it harsher if this was not good, because they didn't make Spider-Verse.
Yeah, and Spider-Verse is fucking amazing. So
this is great. This stands right there.
okay.
This is not a decrease in quality. It is just as fucking good, just not superheroes.
Yeah.
It's really good, and I think that
That gives it a bump up for me because I'm sick of all this.
Yeah, and I think that if you were like me, maybe if you were like me who went to animation school, you would be so fucking impressed with this. But if you're just a cartoon fan, a fan of animation, you would look at this movie and be like, "This is fucking on Netflix. This is insane that they acquired this." It's really really well made. I can see myself watching it again. Not now, but
Right.
it's really good. So I think you really dig it.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I saw it a little bit, and I watched a little bit of the trailer, and it looked interesting. I just didn't click on it quite yet. But
I mean, the cast. There's a lot of good cast in it.
I kind of want to watch the Jupiter's Legacy that just came out, but
Oh yeah, I heard it has bad reviews.
does it really?
Yeah,
I hadn't really looked at any of them.
Yeah,
I just know it was the Mark Millar stuff, so I kind of wanted to give it a peep. But
the first series of the comic book's good. I like the first season of the comic books. The Mitchells versus the Machines has a lot of good cameos. The main cast is Danny McBride, one of the girls from Broad City, Maya Rudolph is the mom,
okay.
and there's a little brother. I can't remember who he plays, but Conan's in it. Fred Armisen's in it. Eric Andre's in it. It's
Nice.
a pretty beefed up cast. But it's really funny because the sister, the main character, the sister, is a movie fan, right? Movie buff. The dad's the outdoorsman. The mom's like a second grade teacher, kind of quirky teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But the little brother is a dinosaur fanatic.
Fuck
right?
yes.
So he always wears a dinosaur shirt.
100%.
And there's a bit where the sister's going off to college, but she's the only one that gets him, right? So he's like, "Will I ever find a new friend who likes dinosaurs or whatever?" And she's like, "Yeah, you will." And in the middle of the road trip, this is the very beginning of the movie, so this is not relevant at all. The very beginning of the movie, they have neighbors who live next to them who they don't talk to because they're perfect, and it's John Legend and his wife, who are the voices, and they're this perfect family or whatever, and they have a daughter, and they're at this pit stop, like Dino Land. It's like a really shitty exhibit for dinosaurs, and she's also a big fan of dinosaurs, and she's like, "Hey, I like dinosaurs too." He's like, "I fucking hate dinosaurs. Don't talk to me ever again." He's so nervous. He progressively runs and hits a wall.
Okay.
Right? And over the course of the movie, it's so well made, they progressively make that scene more intense.
Okay.
At the end of the movie, he's so embarrassed by being around this girl, he runs through a glass window. It's super duper cartoony, but it's so organic, and it's fun. It's really really funny, and it's well made. And The brother to me is probably my favorite character of the whole main cast.
The John Legend and his wife being the perfect couple, I feel like is so fitting because I fucking hate them on social media. So it makes sense that they would be the annoying neighbors that you never want to talk to.
Well, it's funny because at the end of the movie, after they save the world, the wife, John Legend's wife's character, is like, "Oh my gosh, you guys are so great. You know, I think I'm gonna follow you back on Instagram." And then Maya Rudolph is like, "Wait, you don't follow me already?" You know, and it's so yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
So that's it. That's all I did. I thought about rewatching The Wire. Haven't started that yet. I thought about watching.
Oh, that reminds me. I thought of rewatching Banshee because it's on HBO Max.
Yeah, you should watch
And I was
Warrior
like,
instead.
The what?
You should watch Warrior instead.
Yeah, that's true.
That way they just renewed it after a bunch of Asian people.
I did saw that. Yeah,
protest.
they did a new season for it or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they greenlighted their season because it was unsure. But after me and fucking however many thousands of other Asian dudes on Reddit signed this fucking petition, that I don't sign petitions on change.org. They mean nothing. They don't mean shit. But I had to do something because the show is so fucking good.
Gotcha.
The show is so fucking good and Joe's in it. So why would you not want to support Joe?
That's true. That's fair point.
So it's a really great show, and it's the same guy who made Banshee made this show. So
well,
it's gonna be great. The action is great. It's not as, I mean, it's bloody, but it's not as darky dark as Banshee is. Like Banshee, Banshee's like fucking darky dark.
I realized how fucked up Banshee was when I was talking to my coworker about it because we were running through HBO shows for some reason. And I brought up Banshee, and I was like trying to explain it to her, and I was like, "God damn, this show is like completely fucked."
Okay, here's the premise to Banshee. All right, so you have an ex special forces soldier who becomes a thief, and he goes to jail to cover for his girlfriend, who's the daughter of their boss, who's a mob boss, who's a Russian mob boss in New York City, and they stole diamonds to move away. But guess what? So he goes to jail for 15 years.
I think it's 15 years.
Comes out. She moved somewhere else. She's married. Where are the diamonds at? She don't got them. Does she really? Who knows? And she has a kid. Is that her kid? Is that his kid?
Is that my kid? Is that her kid?
Age fits. It actually is. Guess what? It is his kid.
Yeah.
So he goes to a bar. At the bar, he meets a former ex-criminal. They can tell they're former ex-criminals. Also there's a new sheriff in town. He dies. He becomes a sheriff. All right, that's episode 1. All right.
Yeah.
So episode 3, fights an MMA fighter, fucks him up. Episode 4, you know what I mean? Like, okay, we can keep going. Fights a Native American guy, blows his face off with a shotgun.
That MMA episode still fucking sticks in my mind. That shit is so intense.
That episode has so much brutality in it.
Oh my god. Well, yeah, he like fucks up. First of all, the MMA fighter like fucks up that woman with a champagne bottle and then rapes her with it, and then Hood just completely murders this guy in the middle of a fucking MMA ring because he called him a bitch or something like that.
Not even that. They show you the classic martial arts training sequence where before that, when he's in jail, the big albino guy beats him up.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So he trains, and then the next time they fight, he cuts his dick off with the razor blade, and then smashes his neck with the fucking weights.
God damn it, man! Banshee's so fucking good.
And then they cut to him beating up the black fighter.
Yeah.
And then he just fucks him up. Right. And then I love my favorite part of that scene, besides how brutal it is, like when he snaps his hand in half, and the guy's like screaming, and I love that.
Bitch, dude.
My favorite part is where I can't remember his name. The guy who's supposed to be sheriff.
The Amish guy.
No, the guy who's supposed to be sheriff. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
The guy who's been there his whole career. The guy who's actually from the town. The good cop.
Yeah.
Where he's the whole time he's fighting. He's like towards the end where he's beating the fuck out of the guy. That guy keeps screaming, "Hood, stop, Hood!" And he's like, "Nope, gotta keep going.
Nope,
gotta keep going." It's so good. And then he walks away, and then Siobhan is there, and he looks at her and goes, "Meet the new sheriff." He just fucking keeps walking.
God damn it, I love him so much.
And then, of course, season whatever, you get to meet Bunker. He's cool. Yeah. And when he beats, because you finished the show, right?
No, I got to
okay.
season 2, and then
Okay, I'm not gonna spoil it.
it like disappeared off of Amazon,
Okay.
so I couldn't watch it anymore.
So you haven't even seen the sick fight between the Indian girl and then
No, I haven't.
Oh, bro.
I've seen when she shows up, because she shows up in season 2, but I hadn't seen like any fight with her yet.
You're gonna see her awesome fight, but then you're gonna get mad at the end.
Mm.
You're gonna get really.
So
mad
she
at the end.
dies. Gotcha.
She dies.
Yeah.
And it fucking sucks. Fucking sucks.
She's a dope character too.
The last season of the show is a letdown.
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you this. It was a letdown to me.
Oh yeah, really high hopes. This because it changes like genres almost, where it becomes like a murder mystery type of thing, right?
Yeah, it's a murder mystery, and to me it was a big letdown because the show had such high expectations for how they're gonna wrap it up. I wanted it to be like fucking insane brutal, and it wasn't that. So and it ended. The ending makes sense. It makes sense for the show, and it gives the characters like a finite ending.
Yeah,
or they can come back to it if they want to, and like they can pick up. But Hood
can also just leave it there.
Yeah, Hood gets his resolution. You know what I mean? But it wasn't what I wanted, especially after the prior season. Yeah, and that's why I'm glad Warrior got renewed, because if they ended it where they ended, it's not a show where I would be like, dude, this dude makes 2 great shows. They aren't giving time to fucking finish what the goal is. So I hope that if season 3 of Warrior is the last one, which I hope it's not, I hope they keep going for like 5 seasons. Yeah. To really wrap it up, because this is Bruce Lee's story, man. This is the show he made up. So I hope that they can, make it great. So. Yeah, I feel you. What else? Anything else you want to mention before we move into our final topic?
No, that was really it. I can't move in.
I was trying to think. I'm trying to think about each real quick. I'm trying to think of each bad guy of each season of Banshee. I can't remember.
Well, the first one is
just Proctor.
Doesn't really have like a big. I guess it's
just Proctor.
Yeah, I guess it's Proctor. I guess it's Proctor and also what's her face's dad.
Rabbit, yeah. It's probably Rabbit is probably the main bad guy.
Yeah, but there's not really like I don't know, because there's not really like a resolution to that per se, like other than the fact that I think they get him to back off somehow.
I hate that the show, and you're gonna hate this. They for at least for me, I hate it. They never tell you his name.
The Rabbit?
Yeah. No, Hood.
Oh, Hood?
They never tell you his name.
He's just Hood now, man.
It makes me
that's who he is.
It makes me so mad. It makes me so mad. They never give you his
real name? He's Hood, baby. That's all it is.
They never tell you his name. It makes me so pissed off. So, I don't know. All right, dude. So, last topic of the show.
Yes.
Continuing where we left off last week.
That's true.
Where we chatted about 1990 classic.
Yes.
3 Ninjas. We're talking about a sequel film. It's the 3rd film that was filmed, but 2nd film in terms of release date. So this is 3 Ninjas Kickback. This is my personal favorite of the 3 Ninjas franchise. I've seen this movie insane amount of times.
See, this is the one I definitely don't think I'd ever seen before, because I don't remember anything from it.
Well, with that being said, what are your thoughts after you watch this masterpiece of children's bullshit?
It's super fun. I like it a lot. Basic structure-wise, it feels very similar to the first one, where you've got the A and the B plots, where you've got the ninja plot, and then you've got the kid plot. Specifically, you've got the baseball stuff, and then you've got the stuff with their grandpa in Japan and like the hidden dagger and all that shit. I think way more than the first movie. The baseball stuff is really like not even relevant at all, except that it bookends the movie. That's really it. Which I'm fine with, because like in the first one, it was like, I don't know, it didn't really bookend it. It was kind of just like stuck in the middle with like the bully type of shit. And this one has like at least there's like a definitive journey of their growth from like the beginning, where they're like immature kids that get in fights and like caught the thing, even though that team is a bunch of dirty fucking cheaters.
The Sand.
And their dad had to have seen that kid threw sand in Colt's eyes, and he's still
Yeah.
like, be a bigger man. And I'm
Put it
like,
in his
I
helmet.
just got blinded. Like, what do you want me to do?
Put it in his helmet.
Yeah, and then he untied his shoe so that he would take his helmet off.
It's the same. It's the same white kid too, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
No, the catcher's different because the catcher's a fat kid.
No,
but it's got the same bully with the rat tail.
That's what I'm saying.
Pitcher.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's like, dude, continuity.
But there's no Biggie Smalls there, so that was.
Yeah. I do love.
Away, but
I love that baseball scene so much.
The first one.
I love that entire scene, dude. It's so. It makes no sense. It's so chaotic for no reason.
It makes no sense that they're allowed to get away with any of this. Like they're like.
Yeah, like Tum Tum running to get the hot dog and stuff. Like.
Well, that shit's dumb. Him
what?
leaving the middle of the fight to go buy ice cream because his watch set off because he had a time sync when the ice cream man shows up.
Yeah, that shit, and then, real quick, before we get any further.
Yeah.
We have to mention that this movie has the first recast.
Yes.
Of a ninja, which is Rocky. I don't know why.
This is my thing that I didn't get.
Because
I know Rocky's recast.
Yep.
Was Tum Tum also recast?
I don't know. I think so.
He looks like a different kid. Like, I don't know, because there's at points where I'm like, this is a different Tum Tum. But then there are other points where I was like, that kind of feels like it's the same Tum Tum.
I think it's the same kid, dude.
I can't tell.
Maybe he just got older?
Maybe. His teeth looked way more fucked up in this movie. Like he needed braces real bad. His bottom teeth were like fucked.
First off, his name is Chad Power in real life.
All right.
How insane. That's a cool ass name. I'll pull up Three Ninjas.
J. Evan Bonifant is in Kickback.
As Tum Tum?
As Tum Tum.
Okay.
Does not say he's in any other one, so that was a recast.
Okay, so we have two recasts.
Colt's the only one that's still there. Well, Colt and the grandpa. And the dad's the same.
Yep, dad's the same.
But is the mom a recast too? The mom looked different too.
I don't remember what the mom looked like, honestly.
I think she looked different. I don't know. It's weird to be in that time frame of like movies where it's like producers are like, kids are stupid. You can just recast a few characters and they won't give a fuck.
My favorite part about these movies is just like Victor Wong is like, as a kid, I loved them because it's Three Ninjas. And as a teenager, it's like, oh, Big Trouble in China.
Yeah.
But so how do you feel about Rocky recast?
I'm fine with it. I mean, it definitely is. They clearly go for like the older. They went for someone who definitely like looked older, which I'm fine with because Rocky in the first movie didn't really look like he was an older brother. This one definitely looks like he's the older brother, and he fits that role a little better.
Hold on.
What?
Oh my god, my brain is fucking fried right now, bro.
Why? What happened?
So, okay. Colt.
Right.
The actor. His name is Max Elliott Slade, which is a fucking villain name.
That is 100% a comic book villain.
He is in Three Ninjas 1, 2, and 3.
Okay.
Right? As Colt. But in 1995, he had a very short career. He only acted until like 96 and then whatever. So he played in Apollo 13 as Tom Hanks' son.
What?
And I'm thinking now, I'm like, yeah, that is him. Whenever I watch that movie, I watch that movie a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I always think to myself, like, his face is familiar. I just can't place it. Now I can fucking place it.
You're just waiting for him to do a jump kick, that's all.
That's it. That's it, man. He should be wearing a fucking, 90s ass sweater.
I will say in this movie, I found it weird that all of a sudden they had their masks and stuff back, because in the first movie, Colt definitely spray painted his mask white, and he did something with his gi. I can't remember, but he threw it away or something.
Yeah. Well, I don't do we ever have confirmation this is the same universe? I'm pretty sure it is.
I mean, it's got to be, because it's the same grandpa, it's Colt, and it's the same dad.
Yeah.
Like
But
if it
it's a
was
different
all
Rocky.
completely recast, then I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But
But having two of the three brothers recast, that's weird too.
yeah, and then also it's weird that they don't make any mention to the fact
To
that
Schneider.
yeah, they don't mention Snyder and that they took down a whole criminal operation.
Yeah. Even some passing, like they're at the baseball field, like he's like sitting there at the pitcher's mound, and he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Man, I can't believe last summer we fucking took down that
That's
motherfucker
what I'm saying.
Schneider."
Like they
You
mentioned
know?
the thing that like they do ninja training every center, which they
Yeah.
mentioned in the first movie, but like other than the fact that like this is the first time that they've done ninja training, there's like no
Or like they should the
mention
dummy,
of anything.
the dummy that comes down
Yeah.
with their dummy they always
That,
fight. All
yeah,
the,
because clearly it's got to be the same universe. Because clearly that dummy comes down, and they have that moment where they all know where to hit it.
yeah. What they should have done is like stapled a picture of Schneider on it and be like, "That's like all you gotta do."
That would have been good.
That's the
great.
cameo. I prefer this Rocky. I think he looks better.
Yeah, I like this Rocky better too. I think he fits the older brother role a lot better.
I agree. He's taller. He's a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
The other Rocky in the first movie, well, I think looks cool.
Yeah.
For a kids movie, like it looks. If I was a kid, I thought he was super cool as a kid. I never really got the vibe of like.
He didn't seem like the older brother.
Like an older brother, yeah. But
Yeah.
in this movie, this Rocky has the atmosphere of an older brother, and he doesn't look more Asian. So I'm not even worried about that. He looks Italian or something.
Yeah, he definitely looks like. Yeah, he definitely doesn't look more Asian.
But how do you feel about the general premise of the movie with them going to Japan and stuff like that?
I mean, that shit's always interesting. I like that it's like a mini treasure hunt almost with like the dagger and like the legend of like the gold cave and shit like that. And then you've got the evil Japanese businessman who was like an old rival of their grandpa. So that's really cool. I did not like the three henchmen in this movie.
Yeah.
They are not as good as the Bill and Ted knockoffs
They're not.
from the
they're,
first
they're
movie.
They're definitely not.
They are a severe. They try it. It feels like in this one they like tried to be like Three Stooges knockoffs, especially with like the big dumb guy who was like trying to be like curly but with hair.
Right.
So
but
shit.
Them going into the house is kind of funny.
The what?
Them going into the house is kind of funny.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting.
But to me, that's to me. Let me ask you this: the first movie was billed as Home Alone with ninjas, right? This movie,
this one
to
was
me,
not that.
There's a moment of Home Alone-y, right?
It's a Home Alone-ish-ness to it.
Like when they're trying to get in the house, but the rest of the movie is ninja adventure movie.
Yeah.
And to me,
it's like,
like
part of the movie is like ninja training montage because they meet the girl, which I like the addition of her a lot, of like a girl. Because in the first movie, you had like the girl counterpart to them. Like she's basically like fucking dead weight because she's a fucking white girl. She can't do shit. And in this one, it's like, no, we got like a ninja girl. She beat Colt, so you know that she's the real fucking deal.
Well, Emily in the first movie, she gave them the letter when they went to the house. She gave them the note.
She gave the parents the letter.
Yeah, and that's when Grandpa shows up with his ninja outfit.
Yeah.
I like
But
that.
also, she got her fucking bike stolen, which caused the cascade of other events.
Yeah.
You know that the girl in this movie, she's not getting her fucking bike stolen.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have a bike. She did ninja runs.
Well, that's true.
I do like though in this that.
I would love to see her Naruto run.
And when they go to Japan and they have the tournament starting and they're all in the different costumes, I thought as a kid that was the coolest thing.
That was the dopest shit. I loved it.
I was like, dude, this is what? How? You know, the blue guys are the best. White guys are the best. I remember being so impressed. And then the scene where she wins and she takes off the mask, and they're like, whoa, a girl, a girl. I thought that shit was so funny. It's so realistic. That's how a boy would react when they're fucking 12. You know, like there's no way a girl could be good at ninjutsu.
And then she kicks your ass.
She's the best. Oh, and then they steal the costume, put it on. You're like, dude, fucking. Hell yeah, Colt.
I dig it, dude.
You are a badass.
I loved fucking Rocky's stupid looking Harry Potter glasses.
his hair too.
Yeah. Well,
His
that
little
shit
hair.
also made no sense. It's clearly not a Harry Potter thing because Harry Potter wasn't out, but it feels so weird because there's no mention in the first movie that he like has bad eyesight, but also
Yeah.
this one, they're like, we should give him bad eyesight and make him wear stupid fucking glasses.
Character flaw. I do love the tournament scene. It's the first response on YouTube. I'm gonna play it real quick, just audio.
Okay.
That's an advertisement. Hold on, because to me, this scene's seared in my brain
I hope we see some great ninjas there. I hope there's
because of the music. This music is ingrained in my brain so much. Are you? What? This is insanely great music. What are we doing? This is Initial D. Come on.
I mean, look, they are running through the 90s right now, so.
And then cut to them. It's a montage of them in Japan. Like, whoa, this is Japan, whoa. And then
Also, I like that
starts.
they had their little moment of heroics where they were able to stop that woman from getting pickpocketed.
Right.
And then she just takes them around Japan because she's a nice lady.
Nah, yeah. I love all that. I love all those scenes.
It's great. I love Grandpa getting abused by the hospital by that fucking troll of a nurse.
Yeah.
That shit was hilarious.
I love all that shit, dude. And he's a comedian too.
Yeah,
Victor Wong,
he's
a
great.
comedian.
I love him. I mean, Grandpa's like, he's always the highlight. He's so funny.
Now, overall, I love this movie more than the first movie.
I think I liked it more than the first movie too.
Because I like that it's a world traveling. It's not a Home Alone movie.
Yeah.
It is a ninja movie, right, with adventures and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, and I could be bullshitting myself here, much like with Pepsi Blue, but I feel like this movie might be one of the reasons. Not saying it's the reason, but it could be a factor. And I'll give you an example of a different thing. Okay, just before I even start this topic.
All right.
So when I was a child, right, a young boy, I was a big fan of the show Digimon, right? And in the show
Sorry,
Digimon...
hold on. Fan of what now?
Sorry, I was speaking... that's the German version. So I was a big fan of the show Digimon. And in Digimon...
Okay. Yes.
Season 2, particularly when it started, Adventure 02, in the dub, because of what was popular at the time in popular culture music, the show had so much ska music, right? Ska bands. And the movie came out and the dub had so much ska music in the movie. So growing up from that time of my life, being a 7, 8, 9-year-old to 28 has made me love ska music. And straight up, and it's one of my favorite genres of music of all time is ska punk particularly. And that's because of Digimon Season 2, Digimon the movie. You run around, I run around, I want to run around. Love that shit. All that stuff. So Three Ninjas Kickback, right? Tournament arc. Mm-hmm. Now it's very short.
It's a very short tournament.
But tournament
It's no Kumite.
It's no Kumite, but tournament arc, right? Tournaments. Uniforms. If you flash forward 10 years, tuning exam. Boom. To me, it's the pieces of the puzzle. Can you see them? I can. I'm looking at them.
Look, I can see 2 + 2 = 4.
There you go.
But there's no uniforms in the tuning exam.
Headbands.
Well, I mean, I guess, yeah, that's like the bare bones uniform you could possibly have.
That's it. That's the uniform. Headband.
All right, fair enough.
It's a uniform of some sort. A uniform of the ninja.
Look, if you're willing to consider that a uniform, I'm willing to grant that to you.
I think it is. So, Zach, I want to ask you this. You like it more than the first movie, you just said.
Yeah, I think I like it more than the first movie.
What stands out to you as being better than the first movie? Because the first movie is really good.
I think overall the things that I enjoy more, I enjoy the world hopping aspect. I think the chemistry of them as brothers works better.
Yes.
With Rocky being visibly older.
Yes.
I think the dynamic of him being the leader and him being the older brother makes more sense when there's that physical difference between them.
Yes.
So I like that a lot better. I like the tournament aspect to it. I like the fact, I think this is the particular fact for me, which is that I like the fact that for them, stopping the main bad guy for them actually has like a physical participation from them.
Right.
Unlike in the first movie, where the Snyder showdown happens and they're basically tossed off to the side.
Right.
And be like, it's Grandpa's time. Grandpa still has his fight, but it's also like the kids are there and they're also like doing their own shit. Like they're not just like watching Grandpa get the fuck beat out of him.
Right.
So I like that aspect to it. I like the girl aspect a lot. I like the way that she's able to play off each of the guys, each of the boys.
Like she's flirty with one person, she's not flirty with the other one.
I thought she was flirty with Colt at first.
Yeah.
Because she beat Colt, and I was like, all right, he's gonna respect the girl that beat him and be like, oh, this is gonna be a love my wife. I'm like, I want to wife her, because obviously if somebody could kick my ass, I'd want to wife her too, because you don't want to let her get away. Because then, why would you want to let somebody away who you know could beat you? No, stick that shit up close. But Rocky likes her, so she's able to flirt with Rocky. She has like a good relationship with Cole, and then Tum Tum's just Tum Tum. So I mean, I don't know. I think the thing that I liked a lot of those aspects. I think the thing that I disliked the most was Tum Tum. He started grinding on my gears a lot. Also, because I think Colt wasn't like as Raphael-ish. We talked about this earlier, that like the Ninja Turtle personalities like kicked it up a notch. And like Colt was clearly like Raphael in the first movie. They kind of toned that down a little bit in this one, where he's not so much of like he's still a hothead, but he's not like
reckless
abandon.
abandon.
The thing that made me more insufferable in the first movie was like he was going against Grandpa the whole time, and there really wasn't like a super good reason for it, other than like the misunderstanding of like the Snyder relationship.
Yeah.
But in this one, there's like not really that aspect, so he's not like as bad to me. But then you have Tum Tum that like, I feel like they gave him a lot of those like Raphael characteristics, which also is like weird because he's supposed to be the Mikey of the group. He's supposed to be like the fun-loving like guy who's like to, like eat and have fun and like do stupid shit.
Yeah.
But in this one, they made him like, especially like when they were in Japan, he's like complaining the whole time. And I'm like, this is not fun to watch, like, the Mikey character, like, being, like, the character who's going to complain about everything the whole fucking time.
Be a brat.
I did love the sumo shit, though. That shit was fun.
Yeah, I think, to me, this movie has more fun scenes across the board. Even though it's not Home Alone, I'm happy with that. Because I don't like, the Home Alone stuff is cool, but I would very much prefer this, which is cool scenes about ninja-y things, as whitewashed as it is. I don't care. It's like, it's fun. It's a fun concept and and as a kid, you're like watching this movie, you're like, man, this is like, I can travel to another country and then be a fucking ninja. Like, that's fucking rad.
Hell yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. I like the chemistry a lot, even though I do say that the first movie they have great chemistry. Yeah. But also it's like, between Rocky and Colt being so close in height and stature and clearly in age, it's almost like you guys can't be fucking like, you're twins. Like, what? There's no way.
Yeah, it's hard to get like the hierarchy in the first movie. Yeah, when they're so physically similar,
and like also because like and the chemistry is really great in the first movie. Obviously, they bully Rocky. They pick fun at him with the Rocky loves Emily stuff, which is a legendary line from the first movie. You know, Rocky loves Emily, and there isn't that in this movie. Really, there really isn't.
Well, you've got the weird shit where you've seen the girl who only shows up at one point in the movie, and Rocky immediately sees her everywhere on the baseball field.
Yeah,
and I'm like, I watched this and I was like, this homie just needs to get laid. Like, what the fuck? Like, he cannot
Emily's
look at
gone,
anywhere
dude.
and like
Emily,
not see this girl. Like, this is ridiculous.
Emily's like, yo, listen, we can't hang out no more, man.
Also, yeah, he like basically dumped Emily, and like Emily's gone. So he's got this other chick.
Or that girl's Emily, and she got recast.
Her name was Lisa.
Hey, middle name. She new name.
I go by my middle name now. I go by Lisa now.
This is my favorite movie. I think the whole movie is really, really fun, and it's goofy, and it's not serious, and it's a 90s movie, so and they don't make movies like this anymore. They don't. And it's a sadness because it's such a great nostalgia movie for me, and I think a lot of kids can learn from this movie.
I would agree with that.
I don't know what you can learn, but there's something.
I know. I
in
feel
there.
like the life lessons aren't there as much as the first movie.
No.
Those life lessons for the first movie were pretty on point.
No,
Don't be
this-
overconfident.
Yeah.
Trust in your brothers.
The lesson in this movie is that when you hear this awesome music, you go to
You gotta
Japan.
be ready to throw down. Also, girls can do stuff that guys can do, I guess. So they got to.
I wonder if I'm gonna get content ID'd for that, even though I have no idea what the fuck that song is.
Possibly.
Zach, any final thoughts about Three Ninjas Kickback before we end the show and prepare next week for the bummer Three Ninjas?
Is it the
movie?
bummer?
Yeah.
If it's a bummer, can we just skip it? Because I really just want to get to Mega Mountain.
It's not a bad movie, but it's not a good movie. We can skip it if you want.
Kind of just want to get to Mega Mountain.
Okay.
Because Mega Mountain is the one that I remember distinctly.
Right. I remember distinctly too.
Yeah.
I mean, the Knuckle Up was, like I said before, Knuckle Up was significantly less on my rewatch list. I mean, significantly, but
Yeah.
Kickback, 1, and then 4, that was my order, right, in terms of view count.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching Mega Mountain, hiding at Mega Mountain as a kid, being like, ugh, these ninjas look fucking goof. They don't look good.
I remember them being distinctly more goofy.
They don't look cool. Like Colt
Yeah.
looks like a. Listen, I mentioned earlier, this dude's on TikTok, right? He
Yeah.
is like an actual martial artist. He's actually like a fighter or whatever, has his own gym. I'm not saying anything about the guy now, but I'm saying in this movie, as a teenager or preteen, he looks goofy, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying I don't look goofy. I didn't look goofy then. I'm not saying that. I'm saying in this movie.
Like, I'm going to
watching it,
say I looked goofy when I was a preteen, so I understand it.
I remember being like, as a kid, being like, these guys aren't as cool looking
Yeah.
as the ones that I watched before.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull a picture up.
I mostly remember
straight
the
up, not as fucking. Look at that.
Yeah, I remember the gadgets more than anything else.
They just look goofy, dude. Like none of them don't look cool.
Yeah. That movie's more about Hulk Hogan than anybody else, really.
And Hulk Hogan's like fucking skinny as shit in this movie too.
Yeah, he's super small. It's surprising how small he is.
His steroid cycle got fucked up.
He knew he wasn't gonna do any real fighting, so he decided to take a break from the steroids for a bit.
Oh, the fucking girl. I remember who's the girl's in this movie. What's her name? The lady. I remember the lady. I completely forgot about her, dude.
I don't remember anything about a lady.
Yeah, she's the main bad guy.
Oh, is she?
Yeah. Is this guy dead?
I don't know why, but I thought Hulk Hogan was a bad guy. Was he not a bad guy?
No, he was a good guy.
Okay.
Well, we'll watch that next to end off our Three Ninjas session. And I'm looking forward to it, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm looking
So-
forward to it too, man.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Oh,
Thank you,
hold
guys.
on. Sorry, I completely forgot.
Oh yeah, give me the rating, dude. Give me the rating.
Forgot. Here we go.
You're almost more than halfway done with it.
Okay. Final review.
Lay it on me. Straight up, out of how many Pepsis?
Out of 4 Pepsis, out of 5 Pepsis,
Okay. That's a
I
more
give-
regulated rating.
I give
So
Pepsi
I'll-
Blue, the current 2021 edition. I rate this soda beverage that I have here in my hands, that I drank on this podcast. I give this Pepsi Blue, out of 5 Pepsis, I give it, the one that I'm holding here that I drank 3/4 of.
That one right there. That you're holding.
I give this one. Hold on.
Take another swig. Look, really, really aerate it. Get the flavor profile. You really want to really get the full. Stick your tongue out. Make sure that's blue.
I got it. I give Pepsi Blue 2021 3 out of 5 Pepsis.
Average Pepsi.
Average Pepsi. Now, I think you should still try it, Zach.
I mean, I'm down to try it.
But if you don't, I think that if you don't have the nostalgia like me, maybe you'll actually like it more.
Interesting.
Than
Okay.
than me.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't like super sweet things anymore. I like a little bit of bitter and tartness with my sweetness. I'm not into like the super sweet stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. I don't know if it's as sweet as you say it is. I don't
Well,
know.
if you want to just see if you should drink this or not, you go on YouTube, type in Pepsi Blue commercial,
Okay.
and watch the 30-second, 20-second advertisement from Papa Roach, where he's driving in his car.
Does he talk about how it's his last resort?
And no, it's a different song. And he's
Oh,
driving,
shit.
and they're driving really fast, and it's like, ba-na-na-na, and then he's like, Pepsi Blue, gotta have it, or whatever the fuck. And hey,
He didn't
that's the
want to talk about
most.
his scars either. Papa Roach.
This is all before that shit came out, dude.
Ah.
You know, maybe Last Resort was out, but I don't even know what song it's in the music,
Cut
the
my life
commercial.
into pieces. Good stuff.
So thanks guys for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back next week with more License to View, where we review Three Ninjas: High Noon at Mega Mountain.
Yes.